Hello again there, friends and fans. Raptor here, and welcome to the pre-alpha of Gold Rush, a game in which you obviously go gold mining. So let's get to it right away. There's a tutorial in a start free mode. I've already done our tutorial here on our live stream. So again, if you want to see more of this content and watch our streams, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you like this, if you're excited to see more, want to see more games that are simulators and big equipment, hit that like button, folks. Let's get her up to 1,000 likes then to show your support for this game. They do have a Kickstarter, and they're looking for just a little bit of support, very reasonable, in order to make some more features come to this game. So if you'd be so kind, check the description to support these folks. You can also follow them on Twitter and also on Steam as well. So all the links will be down there. Let's get started then. All right, welcome to Alaska, folks. This is definitely one creepy town here in the game, as it's really an abandoned rural area somewhere off in the distance in Arizona. No, of course, it's Alaska. You'd think it'd be like Arizona. You'd think there'd be other sites as well, like Colorado and such. So I hope to see those types of areas in the game soon. There might be different locations and destinations to go to, and there's some real creepy, weird stuff going on in this game. Looks like some abandoned military training site or something. I don't know. Anyway, definitely haunting, but what's not going to be haunting is the fact that we're about to make ourselves some gold bars. So let's get up to our truck here. We've got ourselves a very cool looking truck, by the way. Nicely detailed. It's got the Last Frontier license plate on the back. You can open up the tailgate. A lot of things are interactable as well in the truck, and I like that a lot. So let's go ahead and fire her up then, and let's get rolling towards our site here. So we're going to have to head towards a refinery of some sort, a power plant or something like that, and our gold site is just on the other side. So this game is very nicely detailed. For those of you who love farming sim and simulators like that, this is what this game represents, which is, you know, go out, get something, bring it back, get money for it, and buy better equipment and do it again and again and again. So we're going to go ahead and try some, we're going to make some, I guess, panning first and find out what it's like to actually look for the gold, and then we're going to get all the equipment in gear that's going to be used to actually gather that material, dirt in this example, to sift through and find. Basically what it is just grab a gigantic pile of dirt and sift through it again, and then refine it again. Basically, we're just going to be continuously using water in order to try to blow away larger pieces of material. Then we're going to use magnets to try to pull some of the gold out to the side and separate material, and then eventually we're going to have ourselves a big old pile of gold. So first and foremost, it's going to be very important for us to get a few things operating at a time, but before we get any further than this, we're going to pull over just up here with the truck. This is our little I guess our storage shed. We can actually keep the truck running. You can see it keeps rolling and such if you don't put the handbrake on and such. So I like that. That's really cool. We do have a fuel tank there, which will be used to fuel up some of our larger equipment a little bit later. And we'll be putting things like the giant, this is a water pump to use. Some of the hoses and different types of things are going to be put to use here. So we're going to be seeing those in just a little bit. Over here is our little magnetic separator. So that's going to be pulling some of the materials out. But before we get to any of that, let's go see what it's like really, truly, to do things old school style. So I'm going to sprint over here to our, I guess you could say our tent discovery. Yes, we're going over to the magical tent discovery. And basically what we're going to do over here is, I guess we can't jump over this. This little bar always bothers me. I wish we could just walk right in. But anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to take this. So this is what it'll look like. Once we're done refining everything, it's just going to be a giant muddy mess. And this is material that potentially could contain gold. So we're going to dump that into our little bit of our pan here. There we go. And we're going to start filtering it out a little bit. So before we do that, we got to grab our other giant water bin. And we're going to grab this and bring it down to the river. So we're going to basically wash our rocks in the water until we find something that's shiny and good. And of course, if it's shiny and good, then it must be gold. So join me here as we walk down to the beautiful little waterfall. We're going to dip our bucket in, perfect. And we're going to head back up there and see if we can start finding ourselves some gold. Somebody must have got really upset. Look at that, table's tipped over. That must have been me in a previous recording or something like that. All right, there we go. All right, let's get this pan ready to rock here. Oh. Let's push this out here a little bit more. There we go. Okay, let's start looking for some gold. So what we're going to do here is we're going to tip the plate down into the water, and we're basically just going to keep on washing it. And you see there's already a little bit of gold. The best thing to do at the start is to try to tip it in and out of the water a few times and wash it this way. And I've noticed that that helps to identify a lot of the material faster, though it might not be the traditional way to do it. It's how it works here in the game. So it looks like we see 3 large pieces of gold so far, 3 big O nuggets, and we could possibly see a fourth depending on how often we wash here. And it looks like we're only going to see the 3. So let's go ahead and grab them out. So we're going to try to separate them from the bigger pieces. And if we can do that, all should go well. There we go. That's looking pretty good. So let's go ahead and grab our tweezers and our little suction bottle. And we're going to grab these now. Hopefully they put them right into the bin. You see they fall right back into the water. But as you see in the upper right corner, it says we have 0.04 ounces of gold now. And you'll see that increase as even it goes back into the ground. It's supposed to be going into the thing. But again, this is a pre-alpha. It's not even alpha. This is pre-alpha. So I'm very excited to see what comes of this game. So everyone, thank you very much for subscribing and such, and supporting our streams and our recordings and such, and just being a part of the whole fun. I love exploring in games like these. So that is basically 0.14 ounces of gold. So we're far from having 1 ounce that we need in order to turn it all into a brick. So just over this hill, you see a large excavator out there. And you see over there we have a front loader or wheel loader. We also have a washing station down there in that fuel tank that you saw earlier. So let's get to work. We're going to grab our truck and hook up to that water tank, and we're going to get that out to the site. And we can pretty much put that anywhere we would like. And that whole smooth area out there is ripe for the picking in terms of getting all the supplies and such that we need. Actually, I wonder if we can open up the front of our truck there. And let's go ahead and turn that engine on. There we go. Oh, handbrake's on still. Let's roll. I like how it tells you, by the way. It reminds you that it's on. All right, we're going to step out just for a moment. There we go. And I'm going to grab some of the materials that we're going to need. And in order to get this, where is it, that water filter moving or working, we're going to have to get a couple of different things. We're going to need the generator first and foremost. So we're going to put that into the back of the truck. And there's a few other things we'll need to grab as well. So hopefully they... Oop. Oh, okay. Well, so much for that. All right, there we go. There goes the generator. Hard to see sometimes. We're also going to need this water pump here soon, so I'm going to just put this onto the ground. We won't be bringing that in the truck, but we'll just be bringing that over to the waterfall that you saw at the start. We'll need one of these garden hoses as well. This will be connected to the large unit a little bit later. And we're also going to need ourselves the Goldatron, gold and black, I guess, magnetic separator. This will be used to separate the gold pieces from the dirt. And... yeah, that shouldn't fly out of the truck, by the way. Famous last words, but we'll see. We're also going to need to grab, I believe, one of these cables. No, it's this one here. We want to grab one of these. I'll leave that one a little bit for something a little bit later. Let's go ahead and throw this into the back of the truck. That tailgate seems to close every time you go near it, so sometimes it's a little difficult to get close to the thing. We're also going to need to grab a couple of buckets as well. These buckets are going to be extremely useful for separating the material. Highly complex pieces of technology, these plastic buckets, so that's why they only give you 4 of them. These could possibly be the last 4 in the world. Who knows? Alright, so all of this stuff is necessary to load up, and this is actually really fun, the fact that things aren't here to begin with. There we go. And so you have to actually crawl your way up, earn your money. That's what you do as a gold miner. You don't start out rich. If you were rich to start with, why would you go gold mining? You're looking to get rich. Alright, so there's our 3 buckets. And our power cords and our hose and everything else is all connected in there. I think that's pretty much everything we're going to need here. Let's see if there's anything else we needed. There's a fuel tank here. I don't know if we can actually fill that up, but maybe soon. Duct tape, a few other different materials here. Oh, actually, I think we're going to need this other power cord too. I think. We'll take it just in case. And this one will stay back here. And actually, these 3 are going to need to stay here. And that should be good. Okay, so before we get into the truck, I think we're going to have to... Let's go ahead and put the water pump down by the waterfall. So I'm going to actually... I'm going to just run these out here just one by one to show you exactly what needs to be done before we have to come back. So in order to provide that washing station with water, we're going to go ahead and set up our pump down here just by the river. So I think this is a good spot to give this a start. And we're going to also have to grab that hose and also that other larger hose. We're going to need to put one hose into the water so that way it can pump it up. And then another green hose that's going to be connected all the way down to the field to where we'll be setting up our other piece of equipment, our other washing machine. I forget the exact names, but it'll all come together very soon. And though it seems very complex, if this is your first time learning about mining, or at least gold mining in this case, such as it is mine, no pun intended, it's definitely a ton of fun. And definitely shouldn't be scary at all. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put this into the water. And basically, these hoses fall, wherever you walk, by the way, is the path that the hoses will take. So if you want to make a big zigzag pattern out to an area, it'll look like that. Okay, it has fuel, but we also need to provide it with another connection source. So just on the other side, I think we might need a water filter here or something, possibly. So I'm going to grab one of those too before we go any further. We'll get that green hose hooked up, but eventually we'll have to come back here to start it. So we'll just go ahead and have that as our initial startup. And let's go ahead and grab the truck now. Looks like an old Chevy, doesn't it? All right, let's get rolling. Now we're going to also hook up to this piece of technology here, which is the washing machine. Check this thing out, man. This is really cool. Let's take a look at it. Oh, well, better put the parking brake on there, goofball. Oh, there we go. All right. Perfect. So this will be washing our material. It'll be knocking out large rocks and other pieces of material that are not needed and taking all the stuff that's valuable and putting it down onto this position here. It'll be squirting some of it out. It's going to be very useful here. It does need to be powered, and so we'll be providing that with water and power quite soon. All right, let's get started then. We're going to pull up to the front of it to get it all hooked up. And actually, I can't see, so let's go into third-person mode. And we should be able to... Oop, apparently... Oh, no, I didn't. Well, now I did. Bumped into that fuel tank. And let's see if we can get perfect here. You do have to be pretty close with your tailgate here. So let's get out of the truck. Oh, don't roll forward. Man. I guess you have to parking brake every time. There we go. I'll get used to that again soon. Alright, so we connected our... looks like we connected onto the hitch. And all of our material looks pretty safe. So let's get out onto the road. We don't have to drive too far or too fast, so luckily everything looks good here. So there we go. Look at that. That's going to be a nice piece of equipment to be using. We'll be using the excavator first, and then we'll be going on to the front loader or the wheel loader, which should be very good in separating that material, getting it loaded up quick and efficiently. All right, let's go ahead and pick a site. Right about here, I think, is a good spot to load up from. So let's stop right about here, and let's detach. And let's go ahead and first and foremost get this thing off the truck. Very good. And we'll roll the truck ahead a little bit and get some of that other equipment out. Okay. Now we can turn on the truck. We can leave it off. I'm going to leave it on for now because this is America, baby. And that's how we do things, I guess. So down goes the power generator. And we're going to need ourselves the connection to the unit and to the power unit as well. And then we're going to need the separator as well is going to need a power source. So let's go ahead and put that in the front as well. All right. And we'll get that hooked up with the other cable that fell out. And I believe that hooks around the other side. Oh, it looks like I have it flipped around backwards. I think this is the way we want it. Perfect. Wait, it flipped it around again on me. Oh, what are you doing that for? Strange. Okay, good. Alright, so we're going to need a water source connected. We're also going to need the power connected. So here's our power source. Oh, it looks like it's going to take a yellow cable for that. Okay. Well, we'll go ahead and grab that a little bit later. It's going to need a yellow connector, but we have an extra cord out here just in case. And let's get our buckets set up. Holy buckets. Alright, we're going to need 2 buckets under here, one for the gold and one for extra dirt that can be filtered back into the machine if it missed any. And there we go. And we're going to need one more onto the actual large washer itself. Very good. Okay, now one of these hoses is going to have to go all the way back to the river. So get ready for a fun long walk here, boys. Let's grab that extra hose. There we go. And we're just going to hook up to the back of this machine. And there we go. Okay, now wherever we walk, this cord is going to follow us. So if I go in a crazy zigzag pattern, it really doesn't matter. It's just fun to me to actually see it roll out like that. So we're going to make it look as if this ordinary garden hose, which would be maybe 50 feet at most, can suddenly stretch almost like what seems to be 1,000 yards or something like that all the way to this waterfall. I'm going to try to make it look like a realistic layout here and try to link the hose back this way down to the river. So it's going to hook up to this machine now, right there. And you can see that it follows exactly where I walked. So I think we're going to need a water filter too for this machine. And in order to supply the washer with water, we do need to be able to filter. We don't want any fish going up in there or any bears or anything like that the water pump could suck up. So, and again, thank you everyone for being here and you know, putting up with my voice. A little scratchy today, as you can tell. We're going to need that yellow cord for later, so we'll grab that on the way back. We also might need to use one of those green hoses again. I think we're going to need another green hose, but all right, there we go. All right, we'll need that in a minute. Now, we need a water filter for sure. There it is. That's what we're looking for here. and we'll hook that up to it as well. So let's head back to our water pump. We'll hook that up, and then we'll grab that yellow cable. We'll hook that up there as well. So at the beginning, it's a lot of setup, and this game is not currently multiplayer, and I would like to see a little bit on the multiplayer, so that way, you know, obviously everyone's friends could have a good time in hooking all these things up together. All right, let's see here. We should be able to hook that up right here. Unless I grabbed an oil filter by mistake. This looks to be a water filter to me. Oil filter should be yellow. All right, let's see here. Oh, wait. That's the off switch. All right. Oh, the hose is kinked up, isn't it? That's not going to matter. Oh, yes, there needs to be another hose coming out the other end, I believe, to go to the other piece of machinery. One goes to the washer. The other one's going to have to go to the... one goes to the other smaller magnetic machine, but I thought we could put the filter on first. We'll just do this other hose. And again, there's going to be a lot of running back and forth. So no matter what, even if we brought the truck, we're still going to have to hoof it for a little bit. So setting up our multi-billion-dollar gold mine, and yes, this could produce billions of dollars. Eventually, once you get all your machinery up, there's no telling what could come out of this facility. I'm going to try to follow the same path back and see what we can do in order to try to make it look realistic. Okay. So, we're going to hook it up now to that yellow machine just in the back. And again, this is the magnetic piece of equipment that's going to provide us with the washing power. Oh, looks like that already has one. Okay. Should need another one here somewhere. Looks like I already set that up. Oh, yes, to the front of the washer. So you can see where I walk back and forth a few times. It actually follows that path. It's very interesting to me to be able to see that. Okay, next we're going to have to grab that yellow cord as well to provide power to our other piece of machinery. And actually, I'm wondering if that water filter has, if the pump has fuel. It should begin with fuel. Most things should. So we'll follow our way back here again. And let's actually grab that power cord. Now, sometimes it'd be better to have the truck, but by the time the truck gets going, we should have it. Now, interestingly enough, our giant excavator can also hook up to that fuel tank and haul the fuel tank around as well. So if there's certain pieces of equipment that need to run on actual fuel, instead of loading them up and having to have them roll off the site, you can actually do it this way and bring the fuel tank to them. Okay, so we got our power cord here, hooked up to our machine over here. Oop, seems I missed it. Where's our power cord? There she is. And back over here. Perfect. Very good. Everything looks plugged in and ready to rock. Everything's looking good here. We have one plug on this. Let's go ahead and turn this on. Okay, so our small pump is now active. Let's go ahead and turn up the volume a little bit so you guys can hear some of this. Some of this equipment is going to sound a little loud, and some of it's going to sound a little quiet. So again, pre-alpha, so not everything is perfect yet. Let's drop some of that music down and listen to that. Oh yeah. All right, boys, that's what success sounds like. Very good. All right, let's get this cord back in here. And our other pump should run off fuel, so it shouldn't need electricity. So this is looking good. Actually, let's turn on this as well. Okay. All right, everything's looking good. We need to supply it with water now. So let's get back to the other position. Okay, so we're going to head back to the river now. Man, this truck really bounces. I love how those hoses look. That really looks great. All right, we're about to use our first heavy piece of equipment. But first and foremost, let's get that water pump working. Okay, so now, one other thing I want to do too is probably put all the rest of the equipment we need in the truck. But I'm going to do that in just a moment. Just having a little trouble with the water filter. I'm hoping that was a water filter that I grabbed. The other yellow one should be an oil filter. I don't think this is an oil filter, though. But let's just check. Get a little antsy here. Here we go. Up over the side. There we go. Sometimes you can really get stuck coming in and out of that water area. Okay, we'll throw this in the back just in case it's a oil filter. We will need to replace the oil filter on the front loader before we go out and start working with that. Wow, we've even got a porta-john over here. Very nice. All right, propane tanks, hammers we can't take. This is an oil filter here. The other one's a water filter. And here's all the cables and such that we'll need for some of the other... here you go. See, cables and such that are needed for that. We have an extra bucket. Can't ever have enough of those. Cans, a floating flashlight, and apparently barbed wire is going to be needed to keep the bears away or something. Okay. That water filter should be able to be installed onto that water pump. I'm interested to see why that's not actually working. Yep, you can see the arrow on this side too. This is definitely where the pump, where that source comes from. That's the emergency stop switch. Everything does look accurately set up aside from that water filter. So now that I know that it is an actual water filter, let's grab that. This is a water filter here. And let's make sure we have the right thing going for it. Come on now. Maybe we put the water filter on first. Let's try that. Interesting. Now the water filter should be able to be installed here. Well, let's get all the hoses back into place. Alright, so another hose to hook up here. There we go. Alright, it does have fuel. Come on, water filter. Alright, well, we'll ignore that for now. Let's go ahead and head out there with our extra bucket and such. Actually, let's load up the truck with the rest of the supplies we need. I'm hoping that's not a bug. Alright, so we're here to grab some more supplies. A few of the other things we'll be needing a little bit later. Again, an extra bucket would be good. We'll need to grab that oil filter. I'm going to show you that it's not a water filter either. First of all, you could, I mean, anybody could tell that that's an oil filter. But we're going to put everything into the truck that we're going to need. We do have 4 of these cable hooks that we can grab. Oh, apparently we can put them onto the back of the truck too. The truck can tow pieces of equipment out of areas as well. It doesn't look like we can use the fuel tank. So there should be 4 of these things in total, so we need to find 3 more. Here's 2. And the third one is right up there. It looks like there's 4 of them up there. Wow, there's way more of these cable hooks than we need. Well, let's load them into the back. There we go. Yeah, I like this game. You can actually put a lot of stuff into the back of your truck, and that's really cool. I wish you could grab maybe 2 or 3 things at a time if they were totally lightweight. You could just grab a few of these in your hand if you needed to and just toss them into the back of the truck. Very good. All right, everything's looking good here. So that's all the stuff we can bring with us for now. Just to give you one last look here. Oh, it looks like there's actually more of these, but we're not going to need all of them. I think the ones that we've grabbed are enough. So that's all the supplies in the game. Oh, wait, can we open the hood? Oh, cool. We can actually change the oil filter and stuff in our truck, maybe? Oh, I guess not. Well, it's nice to see that we can actually change the battery, perhaps. That's cool. All right, let's get going. All right. So now we're going to head back over to the site and get ready with that gigantic excavator. Let's get the truck parked for today's operation. All right, just got the engine. Very good. Oh, is that a cave up there? Ooh, is there an abandoned mine? Oh, I bet exactly that's what it is. Yeah, so there's an abandoned mine here, and we're now out in front of the mine where perhaps years and years of mining have possibly... Oh, wow, yeah. Doors not for pedestrian traffic. Yeah, look at that. So for years and years, this mine has probably been producing gold, and perhaps through the mining process, we're just picking up their scraps. It is estimated that 80% of the Earth's gold is still not discovered. We've got a large pit here, a lot of different areas that we can mine from, and even wild animals that at least sound like they're around, like a bear or something like that. So don't want to get anywhere near there. Okay. Everything's looking great. Looks like this machine has water, even though that pump is off. Okay, so let's run back to the water pump here. I'm going to figure out our issue then with that water filter, and I will be going on to starting loading up the washing machine next. All right, thanks for being so patient with me. It finally dawned on me what the filter needs to be attached to. It doesn't need to be attached to the pump, and somewhat misleading is the two giant-looking valves on the front and side of this machine. One's actually the exhaust, the other's where the water pipe goes into. So let's reconnect the water pipe again. This would be the exhaust here, I believe, and this is where the water needs to go into. So we're going to connect this on this side, and then we're going to go ahead and throw that on the ground there. We're going to attach the water pump to the end of the pipe. There you go. So that way it can filter out rocks and bugs and any other things that would definitely go into the water pump, pumping at such a high pressure. So we're now just going to walk out into the water here, just into the center of... Ooh, boy, it's cold. Woo-hoo. All right, up to my knees there. All right, there we go. Okay, so we placed her down right about here. That's a perfect area there for the pump. And now we've connected everything all the way over to the site. Everything's good to go. So now all we got to do is flip it on. So let's go ahead and find where we got a pole to make some water. Here we go. There we go. All right, so water should be flowing now towards our mining site. So let's go ahead and get in the truck. By the way, in the truck, I've loaded up our pan and our water already in a few buckets, so that way we can start looking for gold in there. And there's also an oil filter with us as well, so just in case we need one for something. So let's go ahead and get the truck fired up, and let's get rolling. All right, it always tells me to turn off the handbrake, but I just like to haul it beforehand with the brake on, so that way we can get up to speed. All right, so we've got our hoses going all the way into the mining area, where we've also set up our tools, our equipment and everything are all set up out here. So let's go ahead and park this over here, so that way we can do a little nice gold sifting area here as soon as the time comes. All right, so we're going to go ahead and undo the back of the truck. So when the time comes, we'll go ahead and get all these buckets loaded up with all the goodies that we need. So one on the left is going to be for gold. The other one's going to be for the dirt and such. Oh boy, let's see. There we go. I'm going to have to get around this pesky little, there we go. And I'm just going to throw the buckets out of the truck. We're going to be using all of these. Each and every one of these buckets is going to be needed here, folks, in order for us to find that good old gold. So let's go ahead and put one of these buckets here onto this machine. You can see our, unfortunately, our hose got a few kinks into it, but that definitely won't affect it too much. So as you can see, a few of the cords go everywhere and anywhere. And if you guys know anything about long extension cords, that's definitely realistic. Oh, wow. So again, I love how wherever you walk, the hoses actually get laid out in accordance with your path. So let's get the last couple of buckets here. We're going to need a few of these extras just in case, so let's set these down for when they're needed. Let's grab that last one, and let's grab the first heavy piece of equipment that we're going to be using here today, the Big O. Yeah, the excavator over here. So from what I'm told by my friends here who watch me quite often, the top of this thing is called the thumb. This here is going to basically grab the dirt like a regular excavator, but just to make sure we don't lose any of that precious metal, that thing is actually going to close the lid on it. We also have a pile of dirt over here, which might have some gold in it as well. Maybe we did some test drilling earlier and dug up some dirt from somewhere else. So we're also going to load this in with our front loader into that machine. So I'll already tell you that some of these big buckets here are a little too big for that piece of equipment, but that's the only one we have available to us now. And I do know in the future the developers do plan to allow for other pieces of technology. So welcome. This is our big O excavator. Let's get her started up. Oh yeah, there we go. The Minotaur ready to go. And let's drive over. Actually, let's pick up our boom a little bit. There we go. And let's drive over to where we're going to go over for our first needed job here. Oh boy, I have a feeling this thing's got some growl to it. Oh yeah, she's angry. All right, let's start digging right about here. This looks like a pretty good spot. We'll swing around and unload into that thing. So let's go ahead and see what we can grab first. So this is how it's going to work, folks. So rocks are going to come into this thing and be cleaned by all of the water that's flooding into here. So we better turn it on first. First of all, let's give her a power source then. And let's turn this machine on. Oh. My bad. There we go. Perfect. And all right, it's alive. Yes. All right, all the machines are working that are necessary to do our mining operation. I'm just going to leave everything on. And excavator's just a hair too loud. So again, you can see that you can save and go back to other saves and such here if you need to. But luckily, doing sound and such is pretty easy. So we're just going to turn the effects down just a little bit there. There we go, and let's go back to the game. All right, here we go. Okay, so we can dig anywhere. It really doesn't matter where. The look of the ground doesn't really determine how much gold's going to be in it. It's just about how much of the ground you actually grab. So this might take me a second or two to get used to again. But let's reach our arm out here a little bit, and I think this is a good start for us right here. So let's open up our bucket and grab our first little bit of possible gold here. All right, here we go. So as you can see, once your bucket gets full enough, it's not like a regular excavator, and I'm sure I'm going to aggravate some people with my my bucket techniques, but that's okay. For those of you who know what you're doing, this will definitely be all too familiar to you. And for those of you who are new like me, this is going to be a welcomed little... Look at that. All that's filled with gold. It looks like beef stew or something like that. Okay, let's dump the bucket into the machine. And it will filter out some of the rocks and such underneath and behind. So it's going to dump out some of the bigger material that does not contain gold. It's going to throw that out onto the ground. And it's going to wash the rest and put it into the bucket. So you can see we're almost at 15%. Let's go ahead and grab some more dirt here. Let's go into the bucket cam now. And let's see how we can do with this. Let's go right about here. And flip our bucket forward. And put a lid on her. There we go. And back over to the machine we go. Very nice. All right, there's some gold in them hills, boys. That's 23% of the bucket already full with just one little delivery. All right, let's open up the lid and let's swing her. There we go. So I think it filters some of the heavier rocks and such off the top. They're not needed. That's why there's the cage. And then it cleans the more possible gold material out of there. So I see people also like it when I dig in the same spot. So let's pick this same hole again here. And let's see if we can grab some more of the same dirt. The deeper the better, I guess some people believe. So we'll go ahead and maintain that mentality. And let's go ahead and do it from the cabin view now. Oh, look at that. It's 26% full already. Okay, let's keep on delivering. And I'm going to be no good from here, so let's just go ahead and get a little closer. I'll admit that. I'm man enough to admit that I'm not good at it. But at least it seems to be getting full. All right, there we go. Let's keep on delivering. And we'll be using that front loader shortly to demonstrate how that works. Let's go back into the same position. Oh, yeah. That's some good gold right there. All right, perfect. Let's hide some of those controls there. So you can play this with a joypad, but I would really like to be able to play this with a joystick and a steering wheel. That would be the best, in my opinion. All right, more dirt into the machine here. There we go. I guess you might call it soil or you know what we're loading right here? Possibilities. That's what we're loading here today. All right, we're getting pretty deep here. Yep, she doesn't want to go much further than that. All right. There we go, up and out. Just like a claw machine here. And yet another delivery into the machine. We're at 58% of gold goodness right here. Let's go ahead and unload yet again. Oh, we got to open that lid as well. Careful now. That's a good way to make sure it doesn't fall out of the machine. Alright, looks like it's full. Well, at least that delivery is complete. Let's dig over here now. And you can see some of those larger boulders falling out of the back. Let's make a big stretch over here. Big stretch. And let's do this from first-person view now. Extra challenge here. And let's go ahead and try from right here. Alright, let's pull it up out of there. Ooh, wow. I don't know what's going on. That's some crazy glitching going on. Whoa, what? Okay. Apparently we've angered the guy. What was that all about? Wow, some crazy shadow. Again, remember, it's pre-alpha, so it's nothing, you know, nothing's perfect here. Now let's go back into third-person mode and unload this. And open her up. Oh, there we go. So obviously with my thumb, I want to be a little bit more careful. You can see everything pretty much flies around. Not every one of those rocks is meant to go in there. We're at 87%, so one more good delivery should do it. I'll have to be careful with this thumb then. I'm going to try to use that to my advantage now to try to get more of that dirt in there, or soil, or whatever you want to call it. So let's go ahead and close the lid a little bit while we're doing this. I just need to remember how to... There we go. Oh, that does a little bit better. Okay, that's the way to do it. 88%. Oh, looks like not all of it's going in there. Okay. Let's grab some more. There we go. All right, 92. All right, just one more bucket full should do us. Let's dig a little bit of a trench out here. Open this one up wide. Oh, dear journal. Okay, let's see. Oh, hitting that journal button again. It's like I really want to take notes. Let's go ahead and, let's see. How do we put our bucket up again? Oh, yes. Bucket. Oh, bucket camera. That's helpful. All right, bucket down and bucket up is G and T. All right, that's the control I have the most trouble with. Alright, back over to the machine we go with our final delivery before we make some money from gold. There we go. Okay, she's at 96, 97, 98, 99, 100. Alright, she's full, baby. Okay, let's get out of the machine here. We'll put our excavator down for now. And let's turn her off. Oh, I heard a bear out there. Oh my goodness. Alright. So now, oh boy, look at the mess we made. We can also clean this up and research a little bit more for what's going on. So right here is the bucket we're looking for, not this one. Oh, careful you two. Oh, they seem to be magnetic. So this right here has a possibility of gold in it. So we're going to dump that into our machine. And now it's going to sort out both the magnetic and non-magnetic material. And it might not go all the way. 50%, so we got to do that again. And we can do it one more time, but we're gonna try to get the front loader working now. So the excavator was a ton of fun. Let's get that front loader working. And in order to get the front loader working, I think we might also need to fuel it up too. So let's go ahead and drive back over. Actually, let's drop off our water and pan, and we're gonna get the fuel pump working on that thing. So it's cool that you have to do some vehicle maintenance as well at the same time. Oh, come on now. I wish that tailgate would let me jump on. There we go. Get our dinner plate too. I'm hungry. There we go. Dinner will be served soon. So there's our oil filter in the back. Let's go ahead and do some vehicle maintenance while we're waiting. And we'll get that front loader up and running so that way we can use that to do some mining as well. So we're going to head over up to that front loader. I'm going to try to drive up the hill here a bit. Oh, she's struggling. Turn on that differential. There we go. All right. And let's come up back to the machine. Now, I know it requires an oil filter. So we're going to go ahead and let's park back here. There we go. Kill the engine, hop out of the truck, grab that oil filter. And let's go ahead and pop off the old one and grab a new one. So there's the bad oil filter. We'll take that out of here. And we'll replace it with the new one. There we go. Perfect. Close the back of the machine. Now, the cool thing is with that giant fuel tanker over there, we can actually move that thing, if I mentioned it before. Those giant cables on the excavator could pull that thing anywhere where it needs to go, but, you know, obviously in a site like this, the equipment should come to the actual fuel zone. There we go. Get up there. All right, very good. So how are we doing on fuel here? Let's go ahead and fire it up. Oh, couldn't. Oh, okay. Hop back in there, Chief. There we go. All right, very good. Should be able to see the vehicle control. Looks like we got plenty of fuel here, but I'm going to show how the fueling process works. Wow, this thing is an absolute beast. Look at that. Very cool. All right, so now we got our oil filter repaired. You can see that the oil pressure is a thing that needs to be addressed from time to time. So, for example, if the oil pressure becomes too high, you'll need to get a new filter. So let's go ahead and fuel this beast up. Right here should do us good. So let's go ahead and kill her right here. And let's grab our fuel tank. So right there is where we can grab our fuel. And I don't know if we can get upgraded fuel tanks and such. Where's the, probably in the back maybe, on one of the sides. We'll have to see where the, oh boy. I wonder if there's an actual maximum limit where we can walk with this thing. Oh, looks like it can go right through the machine. I don't know where we can actually fill this thing up. Oh, can we fill it up here? Ah, here it is, right there. There it is. Okay, so it's filling it up. And it's all done. Alright, very good. Good diesel fuel right there for the machine. Perfect. Alright, let's get back up in there and get to work. Alright, here we go. And roll, baby. Very good. So once we've gotten all the gold, we should need at least 1 ounce of gold to be able to make a gold bar. Once we have 1 ounce of gold, we can then sell that to the blacksmith in town, who will then turn it into a gold bar, which we can then sell at a market later, which isn't yet implemented in the game, in order to buy new equipment, vehicles, and all sorts of different stuff, maybe even fuel and such. Alright, let's get up here, boy. Alright, so we're going to now grab ourselves some big O heaps of dirt, see if we can quickly fill this one up. The front loader, I've noticed, is a lot faster at loading up the mining apparatus, the washer, than the excavator is, for whatever reason. But anyway, that looks like a full load of dirt right there. Ooh, don't want to tip her forward. There we go. So let's head back down there, and let's see if we can unload into that big washing machine. This ain't your mama's washer. This is a big industrial washer, remember. This thing is just huge. Very cool. Alright. There we go. Now, I'm going to try to load this thing from the other side, where the excavator is, just behind it. So let's go ahead and unload into the washer. Now, if you can already... We're going to make a mess, by the way. Absolute mess. This bucket is way bigger than the actual grading on the top. Now, of course, we could take our time to, you know, dump a pile next to the excavator and have the excavator do it. But one, this is America. And two, that would just take too much time to show you everything here. So, in the interest of time, we're just going to make a little bit of a mess. But hopefully, we make a mess inside the machine and not on the ground. But luckily, we can use this front loader to pick up some of our scraps from earlier. There we go. We're at 15% there. So we're going to go grab some more. I was just trying to make sure all the rocks fall in there. All right, we're going to grab some more from this pile up here. Wow, this thing is absolutely beastly. Woo! Careful now. All right, let's go back to a third-person camera. There we go. And let's lower this thing down. Get ready for another scoop. Alright, let's see here. Wow, look at how gigantic that thing is. So, unfortunately, not real-world models or real-world brands, but definitely you could tell that this is going to be your favorite piece of equipment here, possibly the big cats or you know, is it Kubota? Kubuto? I actually can't... I've never really worked on a construction site, but I've seen all this equipment all the time, so it's really cool to see that. Now, I got to be careful about tipping this stuff. This is as far back as I can tip the bucket, so I can't go any further back than this. So we just got to be careful about driving around here sometimes. And it will spill out, by the way. Oh, yep, see, a little bit like that. I did want to demonstrate that it does fall out of the bucket, too, so you do need to be a little careful. So just trying to show off all the differences in the game. And you can get caught in your own holes like that. Make sure it doesn't look like the movie holes once you're done here, otherwise that's going to be bad news. So let's fill this thing up again. Too much mud. Part of the excavating materials lost. Looks like we're getting too much mud from the actual pile, which does happen from time to time. All right, let's grab some more. Try to do this quickly now. Now the nice thing is if we actually roll this piece of machinery again, things can all be towed. So it's really impressive of all the detail they put into this game. Really good stuff. They really did a great job. Really good stuff. All right, let's grab that pile again. There we go. Oh, a little too low, I guess. A little too eager just yet. And right here should do good. We'll just cut off the top of that pile. There we go. Plenty of material in that pile. Just plenty. Yeah, there we go. Make sure it's fully loaded. All right, very good. Okay, so we'll lift her up, and we'll head back to the machine one more time. Careful now. I got differential lock on for a good reason. I think we're going to keep dumping it like that. All right, I'll have to not take that area again. I thought you could go slow down there, but we just slow and steady will win the race, I suppose. Okay, we're at about, what, 41% there on that machine? 61%. Wow, this thing's got a lot more material in it than I thought. And just for interesting. Yeah, this is definitely interesting. All right, we're going to go ahead and try it out now. So however much comes out of there, we're going to try it. So let's stop this machine here. Oh, yeah. Oh, we can actually pick up from this pile, too. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's get the excavator out of the way. And we'll just put one more load in from the excavator, or from the front loader. And let's get this thing out of here. Probably should be driving it straight on, but we'll park it over here for now. Maybe you can dig from where we were before. Okay, that should be good. All right, let's go for one more scoop. Clean up our mess just a little bit. There we go. Into the truck, or into the front loader. Fire up, boys. And let's lower. There we go. There we go. Perfect. And let's flatten out that blade. There we go. All right, Bucket's going to be picking up a lot of good stuff here. Careful now, careful. Okay, that's pretty much everything we missed from before. Let's get a little cautious here. That's 95% full, so if we do any more, it's actually pretty close. Let's just leave it where it is now, actually. And so that's just to demonstrate that you can pick up a little bit of your mess. All right, that's pretty good. 95% is pretty good. Let's go ahead and put it into the Magnetron 9000 again. Let's get rich, baby. Now, one thing we can do, too, is we can put the dirt bucket back into there as well and try to get some more gold. So let's do this. There's one gold bucket ready to go. Let's put another bucket under there and put the dirt in there. And we should be able to find more gold from that one bucket. So 50% ready again. Let's see what we can do out of this. Let's grab this machine again. I just want to dump a little bit more in there. Come on, boy. Get up there. There we go. All right, let's go ahead and fire her up. And raise the boom here. Or the arm in this case. Okay, looks like it's mostly in there. Nothing's ever going to be perfect in this game. Material out at the back, looking washed and nice, all spiffy. I'm just going to try to top another bucket off, that's all. All right, looks like we're holding solid at 23%. Oops. Going to need that bucket. There we go. Into the separator again. Okay, 60% of that bucket is full. All right, 71. Okay, let's shut everything down here for a moment of silence. This is the moment of truth. Don't want to unplug it. There we go. Okay. So we have 2 buckets of gold that, or at least 2 buckets that may have gold in them. So let's go ahead and move some of our stuff over here. Now it's time to see if we win big here. Oh, careful now. Careful. Wow, the hitbox. What? Hey, you spilled the water. Wow, the hitboxes on those buckets is impressive. All right, let's grab these 2. 2 of these should be filled with gold. Here's our other gold bucket. All right, these 2 should be good. We need to go back and grab some water then because of, I don't know why that one white bucket had such a huge hitbox on it. That was crazy. All right, let's just quickly sprint back. We're going to grab some water. So this is definitely a game I want to get some multiplayer, and it's really, really, really amazing to see all this type of equipment, and I would really like to see multiplayer here to be able to witness crews running back and forth to pump up water and stuff like that. Being a one-man army is cool, but having some friends would even be cooler. Be more like the show, I guess. All right, so that's all done. I wonder if we could boil the water, maybe have a nice shave or something like that. So you can see, I love those hoses. Look at that, the beautiful skybox. The game is beautifully done. For this being a pre-alpha, there's a lot of things to change, so just keep that in mind. All right, now the big moment of truth. How much money do you think we're going to make from this? We've got 0.14 ounces of gold. We need 100 ounces in order to make one. Well, we need 100 to make an ounce. That makes sense. All right, let's go ahead and dump our buckets here. All right, there goes bucket number 1. Very good. Didn't look like much, but you'll see there's a few little nuggets in there of greatness. Let's put our second bucket in there. All right, 2 full buckets of greatness here. All right, I see a lot of good nuggets in there. Let's put all of our buckets back so we're good to go at the next start. All right, we got extra buckets here just in case we need them. Very good. Those buckets have a crazy hitbox. All right, here we go. Moment of truth, folks. Let's see how much money we can get here. All right, here we go. And into the drink you go. I see some gold. Seems to work to do this a little bit at the start. Oh, wow, that is a lot of gold. Holy crap. All right, let's tip her off a little bit. We're just washing it now. Oh, that is a lot of gold. Holy crap, that's a lot of gold. Wow. So from what I understand from our YouTube audience is that the amount of gold, 1 ounce, is about worth $1,300 just at the moment, but that price of gold is always changing, so keep that in mind. Okay, look at all that delicious gold. Let's start grabbing some of it. You're mine. Now watch it drop onto the ground. Yeah. Now, remember... Wait, it didn't even give me the gold. What? It kept me at 0.14. Oh, this game's a little bit bugged. Yeah, look at that. It's just dropping it on the ground. But now we have 20 ounces? Okay, that's weird. So this is the strangest part. It'll drop it on the ground, but then gives it to me. I don't get it. So 32 ounce of gold. We're almost halfway there, folks. We're at 35. I don't know why sometimes it just spills on the ground and doesn't give you credit for it. I don't know. Maybe it's fool's gold. Not sure. Maybe that's a thing. Oh, I'd hate if that were a thing. All right, 50. We're halfway there. Very good. 55.55 ounces of gold. With just that, we're already halfway to an entire bar of gold. So let's go ahead and dump this out. We don't need these rocks anymore, so we're just going to dump that in the pan. Those are good to go. We've done enough washing here, so let's go ahead and set our pan down. And I'm going to go ahead and get up to 1 ounce of gold, and I will see you guys at the blacksmith. Let's see how much money we make. All right, here we go. All right, I hope everything here was worth it. We've got our final load over here as we've got all of our... Look at that. That's just beautiful to see all this equipment out here like this. All right, hopefully we can get a Camaro after this or something. It's not going to be a lot of money for one brick, but let's see exactly what we get. So here we go. We just need to have one little piece of gold. I think that's all we're going to get, unless we get real lucky with something big, but no, I don't think so. Okay, hopefully we can pick this one up and get the 1 ounce that we need. Doesn't look like anything else is coming out of there. All right, let's go over to gold picking mode. Roll these out of the way and grab her. Here we go. Don't drop it, man. There we go. Perfect. We got more than enough. 1 ounce of gold and actually 0.5 over. Very good. All right, let's hightail it out of here, boys. I'm going to show you where the blacksmith is. Then we're going to go ahead and turn our gold into a bar and then eventually sell that as well, probably down at the bar. Okay, let's go. All right, so we're going to go back into town. So this is basically how you buy your equipment then. So once you got enough money from the gold bar, you go sell it, and you can buy some new stuff at the store. This should be an open world adventure at some point, and this is definitely one heck of an adventure. Sometimes it can be annoying with gold dropping on the ground. And I think that has something to do with your skills or something, or your tools there. I'm not sure, but they're really annoying to actually see like 4 gold nuggets and then have them just drop into the ground. But I'm sure there's a reason for that. So, all right, we're going to head back to town. You may have seen this at the beginning. Nice little drive here. I'd like to see the side mirrors work a little bit. Ooh, boy. Oh, we have to do some rock climbing here. There we go. All right, we're just going to stick to the left here, around that ditch, and through the refinery. Look at all these cars. This is like some sort of post-apocalypse, like, wasteland. This is like Mad Max level right here. This is like Gold Town or something where we... Well, gold would probably have no value. It'd probably be more into milkshakes and other stuff like that. Man, this truck really... Ooh, boy, this guy really gets flying. Wow. Alright, so we're heading to the blacksmith's house, and we're going to go ahead and have him smelt these down. We do have to pay him for the smelting, but it's only about 50 bucks or so. And then we'll have ourselves a gold bar right in the back. Let's see where this house is up here. There's a sign over there. It's somewhere through town. This is where we started right here, the railroad tracks. Crazy how this is like some sort of abandoned world. Like a Witcher house up there. This is crazy, like playing Witcher 3 or something all of a sudden. I believe he's up here outside of town. Well, there's another big piece of equipment over there, another front loader. And I believe the blacksmith lives up this road. No trains coming across or anything, so we're okay. And there's like a Native American... oh, there's the blacksmith house. The Native American tribal site is just right up there, or cultural center or heritage, something like that, just up the road. I don't know if any of these buildings will offer different types of perks or different equipment or something like that. Maybe you can trade. I'm not sure. It'll be cool. All right, let's go ahead and knock on his door, and that is our gold bar, folks. And let's go ahead and knock. And we need 1 ounce of gold, so it's going to take 3 minutes? Actually, I don't even know how long that is. Gold loss, 12%. Melting time, 10 ounce, 35 minutes. Okay. Go ahead and melt the gold, man. Yes! Woo! We've got it, baby. Gold Rush. Our own collector looks to be like... yeah, Gold Rush available Q3 2017. That actually looks like a bar of soap. You can support them on Kickstarter, add them on Steam, Code Horizon, and Playway. A great-looking game here. You can still hear the truck in the background. Very nice. Ooh, does that look like a gold bar right in the front of our truck? That's the Alaskan license plate. Okay, well, we're going out for milkshakes, so I'm going to go ahead and, of course, with, you know, any sort of thousands of dollars of gold, you just throw it into the back of your pickup, and you get out of here. So let's floor it. All right, guys, I am out of here. We're going to go somewhere. I will see you all soon. Let's go up. Actually, we're going to pick up one of our friends up here. We're going to pick up John Redcorn up here at the Native American site, for those of you who might know that joke. And we'll see you all very soon. So much love to you all. Thanks very much for your support. I'm out of here, baby. I'm going to jump the bridge. Woo! Here we go. Oh, that didn't work. Oh, well.